Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're taking a pretty dense, complex syllabus and turning it into a highly focused explainer so you can absolutely master modern business excellence. If you're prepping for strategy exams right now, well, this is your ultimate roadmap. We're going to figure out exactly how modern businesses actually gain a competitive edge using both cutting-edge tech and, of course, their people.
Here's our agenda for today. 1. Disruptive tech and fintech. 2. The power of blockchain. 3. Strategic innovation. 4. Strategic talent management. And finally, number 5, exam application. Let's jump right in.
Pillar 1. Disruptive tech and fintech. Let's explore how brand new technologies completely shake up traditional legacy businesses.
Okay, so you really want to lock this definition in for your exams. Disruptive innovation doesn't just mean new tech, right? It's an innovation that creates massive growth by offering a completely new performance trajectory. A really helpful way to remember this is that it usually does one of two things. It either drastically undercuts costs, think about how ebooks practically eliminated printing costs, or it creates totally new customer sets, like how online booking literally gave birth to the budget airline industry.
Now, a huge driver of all this disruption is cryptocurrency. This is a digital, virtual currency secured entirely by cryptography. To really wrap your head around this, you have to contrast it with traditional fiat currencies. While regular money is tightly controlled by governments who dictate exactly how much gets printed, crypto completely removes that central authority. It's just a totally different paradigm.
When you're evaluating risks for an exam scenario, it is incredibly helpful to weigh the pros and cons side by side. On the benefit side, you've got direct transfers, lightning-fast global payments, and super low fees. But the drawbacks are serious. It's largely unregulated, the anonymity really invites money laundering, and, this is a big one, if you lose your private digital keys, your funds are just gone forever. You've got to be able to weigh these strategically.
Pillar 2, the power of blockchain. Moving deeper into the tech, we need to understand the revolutionary engine making these digital currencies work.
So the crucial thing to realize here is that blockchain is not just about money. It's actually a highly secure, decentralized transaction processing system. It acts as a distributed ledger. That just means the database is copied and held on every single computer across the network. And because no single person owns it, it is virtually impossible to alter historic truth without the entire network noticing.
Let's break this down into a really simple 4-step mental checklist that's super easy to recall. First, a transaction occurs. Second, it gets verified, but not by a bank, by the network of computers. Third, it gets stored in a block alongside other transactions. And finally, this is the real key to its security, it's given a unique code called a hash. If anyone even tries to change the data, that hash changes and the whole chain breaks. Pretty fascinating, right?
Now memorize these vivid real-world applications. These are your golden tickets for scoring high in exam essays. De Beers uses blockchain to trace diamonds to guarantee they're conflict-free. Walmart uses it to track the exact farm origin of contaminated lettuce in a matter of seconds. And governments in Ethiopia and Rwanda, they're using it to create totally transparent, corruption-proof land registries. Ultimately, it's all about securing trust.
Here is a direct, massive hack for your exams. If you read a scenario complaining about a company's databases getting hacked, or maybe a huge PR nightmare caused by a lack of supply chain transparency, blockchain is your immediate go-to strategic recommendation. Just prescribe it and then justify it using those security and origin tracking features we just talked about.
Pillar 3. Strategic innovation. Let's see how this technology builds into the broader strategic choices leaders have to make. Organizations have to consciously decide what drives their innovation, and you need to be able to spot the difference between these two main drivers. Technology push gives the R&D department total autonomy to invent things for unknown markets. Market pull, on the other hand, relies on listening directly to what expert users demand. That obviously lowers the risk of making something nobody actually wants.
Think about the linear pipeline of the tech push model. The technology absolutely drives the invention at the very beginning, way before marketing or sales even get a say. Think of the very first cell phones or early smartwatches. They push highly advanced technology out into a market that was totally uncertain and unformed at the time. Another massive strategic choice is where to focus your energy, the product itself or how it's actually made. A really great rule of thumb to stash in your brain for exams is this. Product innovation dominates developing, younger industries where accepted features are still competing against each other. But process innovation, which is all about cutting costs and boosting efficiency, is way more common in mature, established industries.
The history of the motorcar industry provides an amazing memory anchor for this exact cycle. Think about it. Early on, there were tons of different crazy car designs. That's product innovation. But once that standard four-wheel front-engine design won out, Henry Ford introduced the moving assembly line, just to make it cheaper. That's process innovation. Now, as petrol engines are getting challenged, we're cycling right back to product innovation with electric and driverless cars. It's a continuous loop.
But hey, innovation isn't just about products or processes. Companies can innovate their entire value chain. We call this business model innovation. Low-cost airlines are the absolute perfect example to cite here. They didn't invent a new type of airplane, right? They completely changed how the business runs. They bypassed travel agents, flew into secondary airports, and unbundled pricing, so you have to pay extra for your food and baggage. It's a radical structural shift.
So, we've covered the disruptive tech, the security frameworks, and the business strategies. But all of this raises a really vital, unavoidable question about operational reality. Who actually drives and manages all of this transformation?
Pillar 4, strategic talent management. This brings us to the human element. You have to treat talent management as a mission-critical necessity. It's the systematic attraction, development, and retention of highly valuable individuals. In today's knowledge-based industries, we are facing severe skills shortages. You could honestly have the most brilliant big data strategy on paper, but if you lack the human talent to actually analyze that data, your strategy is going to fail. Period.
To make this abstract concept a bit more concrete, let's look at the UK pharmacy chain Boots. When Boots shifted their strategy to be more accessible to everyday retail customers, their recruitment had to shift right alongside it. They stopped hiring pharmacists based purely on clinical, technical knowledge and started requiring front-of-shop, customer-facing skills. It just proves that recruitment absolutely must align with a shifting business strategy.
Now, when designing a talent policy, leaders have to choose between an inclusive or an exclusive approach. Knowing when to apply these is a huge advantage for an exam. An exclusive policy focuses only on developing top talent for key leadership roles. You usually see this when unskilled labor is plentiful. But an inclusive policy takes a whole workforce approach, which becomes absolutely vital when higher skills are in short supply across the entire industry.
Section 5, Exam Application. Let's bring all of these concepts together into a unified framework.
All right, here is your ultimate masterclass toolkit. You can use this to systematically break down pretty much any exam scenario. Step 1. Identify if the business is facing a tech disruption or needs fintech solutions. Step 2. Prescribe blockchain if there are trust or transparency issues. Step 3. Differentiate whether they need product, process, or business model innovation. And Step 4. Always ensure their human capital strategy is directly aligned with that new technological direction.
I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder as we look at the businesses of tomorrow. As robotic process automation and AI inevitably take over mundane tasks, will the true competitive advantage actually be the algorithm itself, or the highly engaged, brilliantly managed human talent driving it? Best of luck with your studies, and definitely keep this explainer framework in mind whenever you face a complex strategy problem.